Hey guys, let's talk about tonight's episode of Scandal. And any episode that starts with the Liberty Report by Sally Langston, you know it's going to be good. And the Senate committee is gearing up for their big investigation into the grant administration, and that includes people from Pope and Associates, that includes Olivia Pope, and that also included Mellie Grant. And right off the top, they basically threw her under the bus. But can I just say how many scenes Mellie stole in this week's episode? I mean, they were so good. And when she was ripping a strip off of Fitz, I was like, yes, girl, please give it to him. And he just needs to shut up. Because when he was trying to play the victim in all of this, I was like, you're about to marry your side piece. So can you stop the madness? Yeah, she was like, if it wasn't for you, I would be this. If it wasn't for you, my child would still be alive. If it wasn't for you, I would actually have a career. If it wasn't for you, and I was like, right, preach. I was like, Fitz, shut up. Like, he just tries to whine like a baby all the time. What Olivia still sees in this man, I just don't know. So that scene when he originally says, oh, we have to get married, and she's like, are you crazy? And then when she shows up at the White House and he's got, you know, the rose petals and the candles and the wicked tune that's playing in the background, and she's all like, yeah, I don't think so. I was like, Olivia, how many times are you gonna try to burn this man? Like, she just will not cave. And finally she does, and she basically like wakes up, she's like, let me see the ring. And he's like, he shows it to her. She's like, puts it on her finger. She's like, fine. But no dress. And no this. And no that. It's just like, man, Olivia can be tough. I was dying. Wow. I did also love that she kept trying to call Jake and reach out to him. And he was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't want to know that you're saying yes to him. I don't want to know that you finally decided to say yes. Like, and he kept hanging up the phone on her. And I was like, good, stand up for yourself, Jake. Because even though I love them as friends, it's too soon. Olivia, read the room, okay? She's like, oh, you're my go-to person to talk to. It's like, he's your ex and he still loves you. And no. So the fact that he hung up on her twice was awesome. His wife was obviously up in this episode. I think her name is Ellie. And at the beginning, we see that she goes to visit Rowan, and then she's talking about an escape plan for him, but she's trying to set him up, and then she tries to have him killed, and he ultimately turns it around on the security guard. And then I also loved when Rowan was like, Olivia, it's me. It's basically, it's your dad. I'm in prison, but I'm being attacked, and my life's in danger. She's like, click. I was like, there's a lot of people hanging up on each other in this episode. And then afterwards, he's all whining like a baby, like, someone's trying to kill me. It's like, well, isn't that been you the whole time trying to kill somebody else? So the fact that he was reaching out to Olivia, and then Quinn as well, was hilarious. And they were both of them were like deuces. But ultimately, and the scene that to me was so awesome outside of Mellie stripping down Fitz was when Olivia and Mellie met in like the underground bunker. And that scene, wow. Can I just say that Mellie and Olivia, their dynamic together is always great to watch. And again, Olivia, trying to go to her saying, I have a way to get us all out of this if you will release somebody from prison. And Mellie's like, why am I going to do this? So that I can give you everything you want, that you can marry my husband and blah, 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 blah. And then she finds out that the person that she wants to be released is the man who she believes is under a different name and is the one who's obviously responsible for the killing of all the jurors. But what Mellie doesn't know is that it's actually Rowan Pope and Eli Pope, and he is Olivia's father. So she finds this out for the first time, and she's like, what? And she's like, your father is crazy, and obviously the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And then Olivia tells Mellie that he's the one who killed her son. And I was kind of like, why did she bring that up? Like, it just felt weird that she said that in that moment. But that was an awesome scene. Mellie just had that reaction when she went up against the wall and she was like hyperventilating. Perfect. I mean, Those two were always so good. And then now the second time when they meet up again was even better. So obviously we know that Jake's wife, ex-wife, whatever, is working. She's not supposed to be a bad guy, but she's working to try to get rid of Rowan, or Pope, Poppa Pope. And so Jake says he's going to help her out. So they meet up at Union Station to, I guess, devise a plan, that, or there's already a plan in place, and she's supposed to go there to meet up with Jake so that they can go and try to kill Rowan. And when Jake shows up, he goes to talk to his wife, and I believe she's gone. Like, it looked like she did. And there was blood on the bench, and she just keeled over. So, yeah, Poppa Pope got his reach real far. And how was he able to do that? Let me guess. Because Mellie freed him. So, of course, Mellie and Olivia meet up. Okay, so, sorry, I missed a part. So, now, Olivia has said yes to the proposal. And there's this scene when they're in the Oval. And Cyrus is going on about blah, 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 blah. And this man's talking to Olivia. And he's just blah, blah, blahing. And she's just like, when someone's talking to you and you're just not even listening. And then all of a sudden, she gets a phone call. And she's like, I have to take this. And it's Mellie. So she goes to meet up with her, and she's like, oh, you changed your mind. And she's like, I hated you all these years because you were the woman that stole my husband. But really, you're my savior. You are the woman that's freed me. You are going to be the woman that makes me president. And Olivia's looking at her like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you are going to be the one that gets me to where I need to be. You owe me. And then all of a sudden, bam, out walks Eli Pope and Tom. Oh my God, the two of them together, that cannot be good either. So they come out, and Olivia's face is like, what? And basically, Rowan is like, yep, this is the new team. So obviously, all this has happened. Fitz is clueless as usual. But the fact that all this maneuvering was going on behind the scenes and now Mellie has the upper hand is nuts. And that scene when Mellie ripped a strip off of her whatless husband, and she, he says, oh, you're finally leaving because there's nothing else to get, and she just tears him up a new one, and then she walks and she goes, bye, Fitz, or whatever, and you just knew that she was done. So her releasing Rowan was just exactly what she needed to do, because this is her next gameplay. I mean, does she really want to get in bed with Rowan or Eli Pope? I don't think so. But at this moment, this is her best option. So, wow, what an ending. Too crazy. And then we also had some stuff with Susan Ross, who was, went to David Rosen to say that she wanted to, how could she get out of quit her job, basically. And he's like, you don't want to do that. And he basically revealed that she just doesn't want to be president because all this stuff was happening with the president. He was probably going to get impeached, and then she would be next in line. And she was just afraid that she would be terrible at it. But he's like, it can't be any worse than what we have right now. And I loved when Sally Langston was like, Susan Ross, how will you feel being the second president of the United States, female president of the United States? And she goes, because y'all know I was the first. It's like, Sally Langston is comedy gold. Anytime this show starts and ends with her, it is just awesome, because she is just saying what is on everybody's mind. And when she got up and she saluted, I was like, you are killing me. Anyways, guys, pretty good episode. We didn't really get much of the members of OPA, but there's been too much going on with Olivia, and I'm glad that they've really just settled on that as the main storyline, that's the focus, and they've played it all out. And now, I almost forgot the best part. So once, we know that Mellie has freed Rowan, it hasn't been, the reveal hasn't quite happened yet, but we see everybody on the Senate committee getting these packages, and that is one of the things that Eli said to Olivia. He's like, if you get me out of here, I will make this all go away. He's like, I've got everything from B613 all up here. So I can give you information on every single one of these members on the committee. And that's why she goes to Mellie to try to get him released. And so ultimately that is exactly what happens. All these members on the committee get these envelopes, and they start opening them up, and there's pictures of dead bodies and car bombs and everything. Listen, Nobody on this show is innocent of anything. Everybody is so guilty. And it's like people in glass houses, right? So the fact that they just, were able to see all that and then they, you know, basically ended the investigation into everything. Now Olivia doesn't have to marry the president. Oh, and Abby returns the ring. I mean, how many bucks is this man gonna get from this Olivia girl? I mean, seriously. It's just too funny. When he was on that balcony and he went to propose to her and he gets down on the knee, she's like, stop, stop. And he's like, what is it? He's like, no man wants to do this. Da-da-da-da. Like, you just don't want to be with me. And I was like, it was hilarious. I mean, he deserves this. He really does. Because he's just so useless. But I do like him. I really do. But I don't. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. It was pretty strong. I liked it. I believe it was like even the devil deserves a second chance or something like that. That's what this episode was called. And I'm like, here we go. So yeah, that's it for me. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode and leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you next week. Bye, guys.